Welcome to my sewing room. Let me show you guys the place. When you enter my sewing room, this is pretty much what you see. First, we have this station. This is where my industrial sewing machines are. So I have industrial sewing machines and I have domestic sewing machines. And I make bags, which are pretty thick and heavy duty. So it's important for me to have sewing machines like these. Right here, I have my Brother industrial sewing machine. I love it so much. I actually got this from my aunt who used to live in England. So this is quite a vintage piece. As you can see, I have skirting on it. I put skirting on both of my sewing machines because my daughter kept going under there and that just wasn't working for me because I don't want her to be touching the wires and the motor and all of that stuff. I attached them to the table using Velcro. So my intention in the future is to possibly make skirting in other colors so that I can change it out according to the mood and vibe that I'm feeling for. This is my industrial serger. And then here I have a bunch of projects that I need to finish. These are some bags, just like this one. And I love this. I hardly ever use my domestic serger because it's very noisy. It feels like I'm at the market whenever I'm sewing with my domestic serger. These sewing machines are so long-standing. Sewing machines are the kind of things that you can have almost forever. I don't even know how many decades old these sewing machines are. I just know that they existed way before I was even born, and I'm 30. Up here, I have a bunch of things, as you can see, but I'm gonna go through them and let you know what they are. First of all, I have this bag that I made a couple of months ago. This is a circle bag, and by the way, I have a tutorial on my channel showing you how to make circle bags along with a sewing pattern, so you should check it out. I'm gonna link it below, and I'm also going to be linking the pattern so that you can purchase it, right? So I put this here as decor. I like to use the things that I make as decor, so I'm not hiding them away. You're gonna notice a lot of that throughout the entire sewing space. This is basically a storage bin that I got from Dollar Tree. I got 3 of these, as you can see, and they work very nicely in my space. I use this to store a lot of my things because space is limited. So I have to make sure that I use the space that I do have wisely. So in it, I have a few storage containers. I have zippers, I have felt fabric, and then I have this pressing pad right here, and I have some tracing paper. So whenever I need any of those things, I just grab this container right here and take it out, and I'm good to go. This system works very nicely for me because it helps me to stay organized and it helps me to just like reduce all the visual clutter. So instead of having a bunch of things up here, I just put the bunch of things inside these 3 storage containers, and then I just use them from there. In this one, I have things like bag strap, Velcro. I do have this thing in here. Sometimes I can't really find places to put things, so I just put them in random places, and this works here right now. But I also have boning, I have elastic, I have zippers, and I have a few other miscellaneous things like this bag that I need to pack out. I bought some fanny pack straps and I did not pack them out, but you know what? It's okay. I forgive myself. That's the beautiful thing about having containers like these, because even if you want to be messy and you just want to throw something somewhere, you can throw it into the container and can still stay organized. Then I have this one right here. It has a bunch of containers in it, and these containers have more sewing things. So for example, this one, well, these are not sewing things, but this one has letters that I use on my letterboard. This one has a bunch of hardware for bags. I chose to put all of these containers into the same storage unit because that just makes it easier for me to keep track of things. I don't have to lose it and just be like, oh, where did I put that container again? No, instead, I know where all the containers are. I know where all the cuttables are, which is what I just showed you guys. I know where all the zippers are, all the felt, because that's all in one place at all times. Then I have these little containers where I have things like eyelets to make clothes for my daughter. Actually, no, these are not eyelets. These are snaps. These are eyelets, and I use these when I'm making corsets and bags. And then I have one final container up here. Inside this container, I just have like a bunch of random things like wood glue. I don't know why I have wood glue in here, but I'm sure it can come in handy at some point in time. So I have wood glue, I have screwdrivers, scissors. Oh, I have some old Jamaican money here too. This is an old $500 and an old $100, but I intend to keep these just like as an artifact. I want to show this to my daughter when she gets older and say, this is what Jamaican money used to look like. I have staples, I have regular glue, and then I have some sewing machine feet. I need to show you guys how to use these, but you know, time is limited. For some reason, I have sealant in here, but I just like to keep certain things in certain places because it just makes it easy to find them. And then I have like a hole punch here that I use when I'm packaging things for my brand. I like this because I can hold on to it right here. And if I ever want to use this for something other than what I'm using it for now, I could just take these out and just use it. So I can put this back up here. I have this fan right here. This is from Ghana, and I just like to incorporate fashionable things into the decor of my space. I feel like it's very important to be versatile with how you decorate your space. I'm gonna put back the AC remote, but otherwise I have this basket weaved circle bag, and I like this a lot. It's very cute, so I just hung it in here to be a part of the decor. And then on top of that, I have my logo, my Quaint logo. This represents my brand, Quaint Bags. Go check it out if you haven't yet. But speaking of Quaint bags, these are the bags that I make. And I have this stand that I use to hold all of them because I don't just want to have them stuffed up in some plastic bags in a barrel somewhere. Instead, I prefer to have them displayed where I can see my work and also be able to include it into my content. So these are bags that I made in the month of September, and I am actively working on other bags. Yeah, so this is the vibe. This is giving basketball. And when it's lengthened, I can wear it over myself like this. I like it a lot. But my favorite of them all is this duffel bag. I made this one last week. As you can see, there's a Libra symbol on it. But my favorite part of this bag is the Rasta colors that is on the side pockets. Perfect for a weekend trip or a quick flight. If you like any of these bags, you can go to soquaint.com and get yourself one or a few. They make really great gifts. It's a very exclusive brand, and I don't mass produce any of the things that I make. So when you buy a Quaint bag, trust and believe that you are one of just a few people who happen to be wearing that specific bag. The duffel bag I showed you guys, I've only ever made one of those, and I don't plan to make another one again. So that one, you'd pretty much be the only person in the world wearing it. It feels so special to me. So this right here is my pegboard. And I have been wanting a pegboard for a very long time. I'm happy that I finally got one though, because it helps me to keep my space so much more organized. It's a huge game changer, and it was very easy for me to install it. So this right here is my silver YouTube play button. 100,000 subscribers is such a huge accomplishment to me. These post-it notes basically act as reminders for things that I need to make, because sometimes I honestly forget. Scissors, looking like a baddie too. And then in this container, I have a bunch of markers and fine point pens. I have a rotary cutter, pencils, pliers. I don't know what this thing is called, but I have this too. Then my tape measures. I have two different colors of tape measures. This one is short and this one is super long. So whenever I need to measure something that's super long, I will use this tape measure. And then in this little container right here, I have this metal wristband that I use to keep my pins on my person, just like this one right here. I don't use them all the time, so sometimes they're just sitting here. I have needle and thread. I try my best to keep the needles as high as possible so that my daughter doesn't catch them by mistake. This cording I use for branding my bags, and then I have a bunch of other needles here. I have some elastic, and then I have this container that holds bobbins. Some I have tape, and then I have them tags here. I got these on Etsy and I use them on my bags and clothes. They're very gorgeous, very minimalistic, and that works for me. I have these little scissors that I can easily stretch up to get whenever I'm sewing. I have tailor's chalk, a tracing wheel, screwdriver, and seam ripper. So yeah, that's my pegboard, and this helps me to keep my sewing tools organized. Above my pegboard, I have this cute driftwood that I got from the beach. You might be thinking it's not cute, but I think it's cute, and that's all that matters. So I use this same cord right here to wrap around the sides of the driftwood, and then I use that hook up there that I got from Amazon to hang it, and it works perfectly in this little section right here. One circle bag is there and another circle bag is there. As I told you guys, I use my bags as decor. Over there I have a timetable with my weekly schedule, and if you're wondering why I have a timetable, please just understand I'm a mom and a wife. I have a lot of things to do, not only for the people in my life but for myself, and so this helps me to stay accountable. In this corner, I have this craft cart that I got from Amazon, and it holds a bunch of things. On the top shelf, there's a bunch of random things. I did not clean my sewing room to make this video, so this video is very raw and uncut. I have some pill on here, this bobbin filler that won't work anymore, unfortunately. I have all these scraps of leatherette fabric. I have this bag with some thread. This right here is a cookie jar with a bunch of sewing things. So I have bias tape, I have this felt flower that I made. It's missing the white thing in the center. I have bias tape makers in here, along with like flowers that I cut out, and I have embroidery threads, and then I have my staple gun. Yeah, so this is a bunch of random sewing things. I love this cookie jar a lot. I got it at Ping's Fabrics. But underneath here, I have my threads, and they look like this because my daughter is always playing with my threads, and I just decided, you know what, I'm not even going to bother to organize them again. I'm just playing around right now, but I know that she's going to mess these up again later, and that's fine by me. I just want to make sure that she is entertained. Under here, I have unfinished sewing projects. I wanted to have a space where I could things that I know I need to work on, and I can have easy access to them, or quick access I should say. So I just keep those underneath here. I need to alter these pants for my Kingman. I need to turn this into a pair of shorts, but on a regular basis, this is pretty much just tucked behind my industrial serger. The amazing thing about this skirting is that I can actually store things underneath my sewing machine without it looking unaesthetic. I store my garbage bin underneath this table. I have this storage container. It's not really a storage container. This was once a protein powder, but because the container is so big, I use it to store my fabric. So I have a bunch of scraps of leatherette in here. I have some more that I need to put in there, but it's getting really full, so I need to use what's in here for perhaps some patchwork. But yeah, this stays underneath here. And thanks to the fact that there's this skirting, I don't have to worry about what under here looks like, but I still worry about it because I'm a clean freak. So under here is generally clean, but whenever I feel like I need more storage space, I could possibly put things under here if I want to. I also have this eyelet machine underneath here. I hardly use this. I really need to use it more. So I'm gonna test it out and see if it actually works. So these are the eyelets. And I'm just gonna take one of these, put it here. Then I have this flat piece right here. I'm gonna take a scrap piece of leatherette, fold it in half twice, just cut a little thingy right there so that it will leave a hole. And I'm going to put this right side facing down, then put the flat piece on top of it. So now it's like this. It's basically a sandwich. And I'm gonna just bring this piece down, and it did the trick. So yeah, that's what this is for. Oh, something else I have stored underneath here is my sewing patterns. I have a good amount of sewing patterns in this thing right here. They sell these in the dollar store. Over here, there's just a window. But over here is my cutting table, and I use this table for my domestic sewing machines as well. So this right here is my Singer 6600C Sterling Edition. Okay, she's black like me, and I love that so much. I use this when I'm sewing clothing items and a few lighter weight bags. And then up here I have a bunch of things. Here I have paintings and artwork that I have done on my own, and I put them on my wall just to fill this space with even more character, and it works perfectly for me. Over here I have this beautiful sign that was created by a fellow Jamaican artist. This right here is my website. He does some gorgeous artwork. I actually have several pieces by him. This is one, this is another one, and so is this. I'm the type of person who likes to have thoughtful reminders on my walls. I have a few bags that I've cut out here that I need to sew. I have my cutting machine, and then I have a bunch of zippered pouches here that store different things that I like to just be able to grab and go. And then I have a few water propagations here. I really hope that there are no mosquitoes in this bottle, because the mosquitoes have been a lot lately. Got this jar or this vase, whatever you want to call it, inside the dollar store for maybe $1.25. This is such a steal for me. I like the prickly vibe on it, and I love red. I have a candle up there as well. And then on the table, there's this baby monitor because I'm watching my baby sleep. And then I have this dress that I'm working on for her birthday photo shoot. She's gonna be 1 in a few days, or a few weeks, I should say. It's gonna be a circle dress. I'm not sure if I'm gonna follow through with the original design, but honestly I think I should, and then if I don't like it I can modify it from there. But I have this that I also got at the dollar store for $1.25, and it's very cute. I use it to catch all of my threads and scraps of fabric while I sew, so I don't have to have a messy space or be going to the garbage bin all the time. I have a bias tape maker here because I am using it on this sewing project. Then I have my beloved Singer 6600C. I did a review on this, so check out that video if you want to learn more about it. And if you're thinking of getting it or any other sewing machine on singer.com or sewing accessories, use my code QUAINT10 for a 10% discount. And then this sign right here is for my sewing workshops. I'm going to be having one on October 25th. I'm going to be showing you guys how to sew joggers. So if you want to come through, it's going to be here in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. Check it out. Let's go back to this wall right here. This wall randomly has this light on it. It's not turning on right now because it needs to be charged, but it can come off. Isn't that cool? It has a thing at the back that can attach to magnets, and I have 2 of them above my cutting table. It has a charging slot, so all I need to do is charge it. It charges pretty fast as well. And I have this one on the wall so that I can attach my Osmo Pocket 3 to it because it has a magnetic mount. And I use that as an angle to record my sewing videos. But then because this can attach to metal, I just have it there too. I have a fan here to keep myself cool. But most times I just end up using the AC because the problem with the fan is that it keeps on blowing my work off of the table. And that's very annoying. Anyway, I have another hook from Amazon here on the wall with these rulers, and I just learned the other day that these lines are specifically for cutting bias tape and for drawing lines at 45-degree angles. Ugh. Why I never know that. I have another hook right here with a bag, and this bag has been here for a very long time. It's pretty much decor, and I think I need to dust it down at this point in time. And I really love these hooks. When you have a small space, hooks are your best friend. Underneath the table, I have fabrics. These are all of my fabrics. I have a few other fabrics in other places, but I store my fabric under here, and I also have my daughter's toys under here so that she can play with them while I'm sewing or while I'm editing on the computer. It works very nicely because it's on her level, and I saw a few people saying that I should have made the tablecloth cover the front of the table, but the reason why I don't do that is because my daughter comes under here. So every time she comes here to play, I just lift this up so that she can do her thing. You guys can't really see that corner, but in that corner I store things like tripods and backdrop stands, and I just think it's very genius. When you have a small space, I need to stop emphasizing having a small space, but I just like to use every single corner of my space so that way nothing goes to waste. I have this cushion around here to block my daughter from playing with this outlet. I also keep my meter ruler around here as well. Whenever I'm making YouTube videos, I will pretty much just hook my camera onto this shelf right here. Ew, it's a dead bug. Now I can take you guys over to the next spot in the sewing room, and that is my desk. I recently got this desk. It was just a bookshelf at first, and I had my iMac on top of the cutting table, but that was taking up too much space. I needed that space. So I just decided that I would get a piece of plyboard, put it on top of the shelf that was already here, because this is the shelf, right? And underneath it, I store fabrics again, and then I have my Cricut Maker 3, and I have an outlet under here where I can charge things. I put it under there just to keep it out of my daughter's way because she is curious. You know, when babies are coming into themselves, it's, well, all right, that's so no way. When babies are growing up, they're very curious. They're very curious. And so it's very important for me to like keep the space childproof. And I think I've done a very good job at that. That means I had to move a lot of things from where they already were, but this is serving me very well. So I'm okay with it. As you can see, I have my computer right here, and I use this to edit videos, YouTube videos, Instagram reels, work on my website, create plans and those kind of things, email customers. And I have the most beautiful setup here. I adore it. I love it so much. Ideally, I would have wanted it to be lower so it can be more at like elbow level, but I'm still okay with this because this is the existing height of the table anyway, or the bookshelf thingy anyway. So what am I gonna do? I can't do anything about it. Before I take you guys over here, I want to show you this. This is basically in between my cutting table and my computer desk. This is a sewing machine case, and I love it. I love it because whenever I am not using the 6600C, I put it in here so that it can be just out of the way and safe. Whenever I'm traveling with it, I will also take it in this as well. So I'm just gonna put it back, and I'm gonna take you guys over here. Let's get into it. I got this from Amazon, and I had my computer on it at one point, but because the computer is already so big, it made it much higher than it needed to be. So instead, I just put it at the side of my desk, and I have this thing underneath it. It's pretty much a stackable, or I don't even know what word you call this, but basically it's a bunch of containers that can go together and create just one big thing. So I just put miscellaneous things in here to keep them organized, and then I slide it under here. Then I have this rag that I use to wipe my computer or my desk or the keyboard to just keep it clean. I have receipts here and envelopes and like different paper things. This book is what I'm reading right now, so I just keep it close by, so if I ever want to get to some reading, I can do that quickly. I have my glasses under here as well if I need to put it on. And then I have this clear acrylic tray. I have thank you cards, certificates, tags for my bags, things to make bracelets, staples, sticky notes. And then this right here is draping tape. I haven't used this in a very long time. I have this that I use when I am doing Cricut things. I have some Palo Santo here that I will burn from time to time. This candle, I like to burn it whenever I feel like I just want a nice little serene vibes. Then I have this notepad so I can write down things that come to my mind. It's very important for me to have this because I like writing, and if I don't have something to write, then how am I gonna write? And I keep this in front of my desk. It's so cute right here. Behind it though, I have some business cards for my brand, Quaint bags. But above my computer, I have pictures of baby me, except that one. That's my daughter right there. I got this open sign as a gift when I had a storefront, but it works so perfectly as room decor as well. Here is another Amazon hook. There's another Amazon hook up there, and I put this circle bag on it. This is the bag that I made in the circle bag sewing tutorial, and you guys should check it out. Coming over to this side right here, I have this purse. I made this myself, and then I have another book that I'm reading right now, Think and Grow Rich, really good book. A few things for my daughter, Taylor's chalk. I like to keep some things close for her because whenever I'm editing and I have her in my hand, I need something to give to her. Then I have this deck of cards that I created. It just has like a bunch of positive affirmations that, or at least reminders that can help me to, you know, stay on a positive path. I got this donut lamp on Amazon. I love it so much. You just tap the center and the light changes. It's orange when the light isn't on though. I like it. And then I have a few more bags here that I display as decor, of course, on Amazon hooks. These are my backdrop papers, and I just keep them in the corner because that's as good as it gets. This stool was made by the same person who made this, and I just keep it nearby so that I can go up here whenever I need a book. I have all my books up here, including sewing books, and then the ones that can't fit on the bookshelf, I just put them here. And then I have this right here that I save coins in. I have an iron. I have this thing that I use to cut papers. I have this bag that I store my tarot cards in. I made this bag, by the way. I think there should be a video on my page about it. It would be a short video though. And then on the inside of this cupboard is all the clothes that I've made. So I keep one of these lights inside my closet so that way I can know exactly what I'm looking at or looking for. I have hooks over there as well so that I can put up my hats. And then in here I have this thing that I got from the dollar store. I use it to store bags and belts and some more hats. This right here is a barrel, and I just cover it with a curtain, and it works for me so perfectly because I'm able to stash away a bunch of things inside of it. Beside it I have my iron board. I have this cutting mat right here that I use to cut on sometimes. I haven't used it much lately though. And then in here I have a bunch of things just like everywhere else. They always say that open storage is not storage, it's just display, and it makes a lot of sense because if you're seeing a bunch of things in your eyesight, your eyes are just gonna have so much to deal with. You eye them not a space for rest, you see me? So I just try to cover things as much as possible. But when you go inside here, you see like a bunch of personal items on the top shelf. Then there are my sewing machines on the second shelf along with my mannequin head. I have this clear bag that I made. I put all of my plugs and stuff in it, so whenever I need to use things that need plugs, I know they're always going to be in here. I have umbrellas for my studio lights there, and then I have this iron that I iron with, of course. I have a few more Cricut things here. I need to organize this paper away, but I have a few more Cricut things here along with my printer. And then I have things like, you know, Cricut mats and my yoga mats along with another bag. That is pretty much my closet space. I love it a lot because it helps me to store things away. Over here I have this nice full body mirror. I love it a lot because I just like being able to see myself. The final spot inside my sewing room that I need to show you guys is behind the door. And you might be wondering, why do I need to show you behind the door? Like, what's behind a door that could possibly be enticing? But look guys, this is where I store all my sewing patterns that I don't want to get creased. I used to store my sewing patterns just by folding them and putting them in an envelope, but then every time I'm ready to use my sewing patterns, I would have to press them out. So instead of doing that, I just put some holes at the top of them and I put a string, and then I just put them on top of the hooks that are at the back of this door. It works perfectly for me because whenever I want a pattern, I can just go through, find what I need, take it off, use it, and then put it back. I'm gonna just turn this light off. But yeah, that pretty much completes the tour of my sewing room. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Now you guys see where I create, where I video, where I edit, where I do all of those things. If you feel inspired, feel free to steal some of my decor ideas. I'm going to link the Amazon things in the description box down below so that you can get them if you'd like to. I'm also going to link the Singer 6600C sewing machine so that you can get it. Don't forget to use my code QUAINT10 to get a discount. And if you want more content from me, you know, exclusive content that don't have ads, sewing patterns, behind the scenes, tips, podcasts, exclusive sewing tutorials, join my Patreon. It's just $10 per month for now, but it's packed with lots of value, and I am really grateful that I get to share this value with you guys. So feel free to support me and support the channel by joining my Patreon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.